be evacuated and be the last to leave his post. Having sustained multiple gun wounds, he did not relent. This act of bravery, courage, stewardship, and selflessness speaks volumes about the values the late stood for. The late General Major Doug Thel paid the ultimate price in defense of his country. The uniform was his life, and his life was the uniform. He was an humble human being and a loyal soldier to the very end. In the famous word of John F. Kennedy, the former President of the United States of America, and I quote, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." Lieutenant Major Doug Thel only asked what he could do for his people and his country for more than 4 decades. As for the leadership of this country, here and far, I would say, ask not what your citizens can do for you, but rather what you can do for your citizens. Because the citizens of this fantastic nation have all but asked what they could do since the days of Anyanya 1 until now. I would also like to say I'm very proud of the sacrifices and contribution made by my family in service of our nation. My late father, Dr. Chu Deng Achuak, as I was told by my late great uncle, Chagai Atem, and others, used to find ways to smuggle medical supplies to the Anyanya 1 movement with the full knowledge of the risk of losing his life if he was caught, yet he never relented. My late brother Aler Chu Deng was also martyred in the early days of the movement, and comrade Awil Chu Deng, whom was known to many of you, she lived for the glory of South Sudan. Ask yourself, what can I do to honor the memory of those who have made the ultimate sacrifice? I strongly believe the only way to honor them is for all of us to shun violence and become ardent advocates for peace wherever we are in the world as South Sudanese and all friends of South Sudanese people. Anything less than this would be an absolute betrayal of their sacrifice. As we farewell thee today, Lieutenant General Major Doug Thel, we shall remember the sacrifices you made and those made by countless unsung heroes and heroines from the days of Anyanya 1, those whose remains were left for birds of prey and scavengers amid the fiercest of battles for freedom. Your blood fertilized the land upon which the offsprings of your offsprings shall remain free for eternity. We are grateful for your sacrifice and your selflessness. I and my sister come from Australia. I grew up in a small town called Toowoomba in the Darling Down region in the state of Queensland. For all Australians, the 25th of April is known as the Anzac Day, marks the National Remembrance Day for all the servicemen and women who made the ultimate sacrifice in defense of freedom. As we do so often in Australia on Anzac Day, I would like to end here by reciting an excerpt from a poem titled The Fallen by an English poet and writer, Lawrence Binion. They went with songs to battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eyes, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemned. At the going down of the sun and in the morning we shall remember them. Farewell, Lieutenant General Major Doug, we shall remember you. Thank you. I'll give the mic to my sister a few words.